Hi, happy 24th of December. So happy Christmas Eve. Today is our final day of our advent calendar, but we have a lovely, slightly longer class today, and it is the stretch and calm class that you might have done before on my YouTube, and I'm bringing you another one to finish off our advent calendar today. So our stretch and calm class, it's a little bit of stretching just to get the body a little bit moving, a little bit more mobilized, just to keep the joints happy, just to generally bring a bit of movement, a bit of de-stressing into the physical body. And then we will segue into a meditation, and we're going to work on the similar meditation to what we did way back in the first week of December. So if you can think all the way back to what we did in those first few meditations, we're going to be picking up on those skills that we started then, and we're going to be really just firming up those skills so that you can begin to maybe use them yourself as you shift into the next couple of days. And I know that maybe your Christmas hasn't turned out the way that you wanted, but we are here to create some calm. So whatever it is that is taking up your brain space right now, try and let it go. Just for the next 15-20 minutes, it's just me, you, and some stretching and some calm. And we're going to try and just find a little bit of space for ourselves mentally and physically as we move and take this stillness on our yoga mat. If you have a yoga mat, then go ahead, grab one, roll it out. If you don't, you can still practice this. We're not moving too much, so don't worry. And then you might want a cushion to sit on for our meditation. So for the second half of the class, you might want a cushion to sit on. Other than that, make sure you're fit and healthy to practice today, and we're going to dive straight in. So taking yourself into a child's pose. You probably know what that is by now, even if you didn't before this advent calendar, but we're going to take those big toes together, take the knees just slightly wider than the chest, lengthen the arms out in front of you, take the hips back to the heels, and perhaps rest the forehead to the mat if you wish. And just allow the forearms to melt into the ground. So really taking a restorative child's pose right now, just allowing the body to relax. Just taking these few moments to settle in. It's really important that in our yoga classes, in our meditation sessions, we spend a moment to set ourselves up, to settle in and just to check in with how we feel, where our mind and our body is at. So as we're here in our child's pose, just notice how your physical body feels. It might be that you've been working out a lot recently. Maybe you've been working from home and you've been staying seated at a less than ideal desk. Maybe you've been really working on your flexibility and your stretching with me over the past 24 days. Whatever it is, let all of the expectation and judgment of how your body should be go. And just check in with your body. Simply notice how your body feels physically. Notice where there are areas of tightness and tension. And notice where areas actually feel really good. And you can have a combination of both. Just because part of the body is tight doesn't mean there's not a part that isn't tight. Just check in. Notice. Observe. And then if you choose, you can check in with where you're at mentally, where you're at emotionally. If you don't want to do this, that is fully okay. You can just stay using your breath, beginning to settle into the mat. But maybe just check in with yourself. Notice where your head's at. And not judging, not criticizing, just noticing. Accepting that if the mind is going at 100 miles an hour, the meditation might feel a little harder today. In the same aspect, if you're feeling really good, really relaxed, then maybe you'll feel that you can just slip straight into the meditation. Just know that there's no such thing as a bad meditation. All that we're doing today here together is going to benefit you. No matter how it feels, no matter how hard or how easy, it's benefiting you. When you're ready, Just gently crawl your way into all fours. So just lifting the shoulders to come above the wrists. Wiggle the knees underneath the hips. And then we're just going to gently sway side to side. Maybe dome out through the shoulder blades a bit. Take a little bit of free movement here. So move however you want in this all fours tabletop. So it's a variation of cat-cow, but we're really moving the way that we want. So for me, I'm working into my upper body today. That feels really good. And then just gently take the toes to the mat. So tuck your toes. And then we're going to start to take the hips back to the heels. And just make sure the knees are hip width apart. You don't want them too wide or too narrow. And if that's enough, you can stay here with the hands on the mat, just taking a bit of weight of the body through the arms. If you want to stretch a little bit further, we're going to take the hands up onto the thighs. And it might feel a little tricky. It might not feel the most comfortable thing in the world. This is probably going to be the hardest stretch we're doing. But it's a really nice way to bring us into the present moment. When you're doing this stretch of the bottom of the feet, there's nothing else you can think about. You have to come into your body. If it's too much, feel free to take the hands back to the mat. We're going to take one more breath, really breathing in and out through the nose if you can. And then in your own time, crawl your way back to all fours. We're going to predominantly focus on the shoulders for our stretch part of this class this morning. So walk the hands a little bit further. Sink the chest all the way down to the mat, coming into your puppy dog pose. Really thinking about releasing the chest to the mat. Maybe the chin or the forehead come down, maybe they don't. The hips stay above the knees, pushing back. The arms extend forward and we close our eyes. And we find a few cycles of breath. Just releasing, relaxing into our space. And then keep the forearms connected to the earth and slide your chest forward. You might need to wiggle yourself so that you've got the shoulders directly underneath the shoulders directly above the elbows, sorry. And we're going to take the tops of the feet to the mat. Squeeze the glutes a touch to protect the lower back. And then try to open the chest through the upper arms. Close the eyes. And as you breathe, feel the belly expand onto the mat. Really draw air in. And exhale, allow yourself to settle further into your Sphinx pose. And then exhale, release yourself down to the ground. And we're just going to take our right arm all the way out to the side, palm pressing down. And then gently take your left hand just in front of the shoulder and gently push yourself onto your right hand side. So you're gently laying on your right hand side, easing your body into a little bit of a twist. Just take a cycle of breath, close the eyes and feel that release through the chest. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So switching sides, extend the left arm out to the side. And then you're going to take the right hand just so the palm comes down. Gently you're going to push yourself up and over into a twist onto the left. And you want that left hand in line with the shoulder. You can close the eyes if you want. Just allow that gentle opening of the chest. Inhale back to center. We're going to take the hands either side. Don't knock your blocks over. You're going to take the hands either side of the chest. You're going to squeeze in between the shoulder blades, lift the chest and come into your cobra pose. Squeeze the back body. And then gently ripple the spine all the way back to child's pose. Lengthen the hips to the heels. Push your way into child's pose. We're going to take a side bend here. So walk the hands over to the left-hand side. Take the right hand on top of the left. And really breathe into the right side of the body. As you breathe into the right side of the body, allow the expansion between the ribs to occur. Allow that shoulder to feel a deeper stretch. And then inhale to center and then exhale to the other side. Take the left hand on top of the right, release the head between the upper arms and just take a few cycles of breath. Allow yourself to surrender to this stretch, really releasing the shoulders. Finally, hopefully you've finished at your desk for the next couple of days. And so we're just releasing any of that desk tension in the upper body. Maybe you've been cooking a lot, standing over the oven, whatever it is, we're stretching that out in the upper body now. Inhale back to center. Pause for a full cycle of breath in your child's pose, lengthening hips to heels, palms pushing into the earth. And then when you're ready, creep your way up to cross-legged. So just gently taking yourself to seated. If you want, you can go ahead and sit on your cushion or a block if you've got one. It just helps us to keep the hips a little bit higher. It takes the effort out of sitting, which, let's face it, we want to do. So sitting onto a block, if you have one, we're going to take the hands either palms facing down or palms facing up. Wiggle the spine nice and tall and then close the eyes if you're comfortable to do so. And settle in. Hopefully the mind is feeling a little more grounded as we've done that releasing yoga. And now we start to begin to become aware of the fingertips. So just shifting our awareness down the arms and just pausing on the ends of the fingers. And it might be that you need to say to yourself, fingertips, fingertips. It might be that subtle reminder, just mentally saying that to yourself, is going to help you. So if you need, just a couple of times, or whenever the mind wanders, just repeat to yourself, fingertips. And just bring yourself in. Wherever the mind has gone, wherever it is now, bring it in towards the fingertips. We're going to bring all of our awareness, all of our focus into this one spot, so that we can allow the brain a little bit of a pause, so that we can find some clarity and some calm in our mind. So bring your focus to your fingertips and settle it there. And know that there is nowhere else that you need to be. This right here, right now, this is the present moment. And together we're going to find some calm. Allowing the body to breathe as it wishes. I'm really just focusing on those fingertips, and it might be that a sensation has begun to arise. And if that's the case, that's okay. It's just the mind and the body getting to know one another again. It's just the mind and the body finally being in the same space at the same time. Encourage it. Whether it's a tingling or a warmth or a buzzing, whatever it may be. Encourage it, allow it. And it might be that you've done this meditation a few times. Maybe you haven't, but you're feeling that buzzing, that tingling, that sensation is strong. And maybe you want to broaden your awareness and invite in the toes. And if that's something you want to do, just imagine your awareness becoming wider, almost like the screen at a cinema. And invite the toes to join in your awareness. And so now our focus is on our fingertips and our toes. These 4 points are just holding all of our awareness. And we pause and settle in. And if the mind wanders, don't beat yourself up, it's okay, it happens. Just draw yourself back in when you can. It might be that you take a deep breath just to regroup. It might be that you say fingertips and toes to yourself. Whatever it is that helps you to come back, use it. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad meditation. So really just settling now. Feeling yourself becoming cocooned in this calm. Feeling some serenity begin to flood over the body. Nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just treating our body and our mind to this calm. Just sit with it. If you want to take this next level, perhaps you want to begin to broaden your awareness further, and you want to invite the lower legs, the knees, the thighs and the hips into your awareness. Just encourage that sensation to travel from the toes up through the lower limbs. Just invite it. Invite these parts of your body into your awareness. And allow your mind and body to reconnect. Spend a few moments settling at this stage. And if at any point you begin to lose the sensations, or maybe you just feel it's not working for you, you can take it back to the fingertips or to the fingertips and toes. You always have that option. This is your meditation. Perhaps you want to begin to expand the awareness even further, becoming aware of the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, and all the way into the shoulders, until all of the limbs are tingling or buzzing. Some people even almost feel a space around them. Whatever it is, know that it's right, that it's okay, and encourage it. Let's allow the mind and the body this time to come back to one another. We spend so much of our time with the mind and the body in two separate places, and now we're bringing them back. Settling them back into the present moment, into the here and the now. And if you're happy, you can stay here. Or perhaps you want to expand your awareness even further, drawing that sensation all the way up through the torso, all the way through the head, right the way to the crown of the head. And now the whole of your body is in your awareness. Every fiber of your being, every muscle, every joint, all of it is in your awareness. And this is the present moment. This is what it's like to be in one place, in one time, with both our mind and our body present. So let's stay here. Let's try to cultivate this calm. Let's try to keep ourselves grounded in the present moment. Really just finding this space and encouraging all of that calm and that quiet to settle as our mind focuses on the whole of our body. Just keeping that light awareness, that effortless effort on the whole of the physical body. Don't worry, I'm still here with you. We're still here together. Finding this calm, finding this quiet. And when you're ready, Just begin to release the awareness of the body. Perhaps naturally you draw a deeper inhalation. Whatever it is, if you need to take some movement now, go ahead. I can always quite like to roll the head forwards and around. Perhaps you want to stretch the arms out. Maybe you've started to notice a little bit of pins and needles and you want to move the legs. Whatever it is you do now, these movements, make them quiet. Make them calm. And don't rush. Keep the eyes closed and just softly move into your body if you choose. And then just come back to steadiness. And drop the chin to the chest. And then just gently blink open the eyes and allow the light back in. And take a few cycles of breath here. Not looking at anything in particular. Just gently coming back to our space. And then slowly lift the gaze. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today and for taking this time. I know Christmas Eve can be busy, so thank you for taking this time, and your body and your mind will thank you too. So we all appreciate that you've taken this time today to come and to move and to sit. If you haven't done all of the days of the calendar, don't worry, they're going to stay up here and you can do them as and when. So really don't worry if you haven't managed to keep up with all of them. And if you have, fantastic, well done. If you haven't, don't worry about it. Have a lovely Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, or whatever it is you celebrate. Have a lovely festive period. It may be different to what we expected and to what we're used to. Remember to try to keep some calm if you can, and try to find joy in the small things. Try to find a little bit of joy each day, however you can. If you want to come and join my newsletter family, I would love to have you. I don't send out newsletters too often, don't worry, I'm not going to fill up your inbox. But if you want to get the latest information on workshops, classes, all of that, as well as special discount codes, special yoga classes, exclusive ones, then just click the link below in the description and you can go and put your email in there and you can become a proper part of the Namaste Naomi family. I would love to have you on there. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you again sometime soon.